I'm acting a fool and we're live on Facebook.
It's headed now.
All right, sweet. What's up, guys? You are on the home of the hustle. This is an intro to a 4-part series. I'm going to get this repeater going. Hold on there, meow. This is going to be the intro to a 4-part series that we're going to be doing with Martin Matthews and with the Renegade Rob Martin, talking about the financial industry and the final expense insurance industry. Talking about the things that they don't want to tell you, the things that they necessarily don't want you to know because they may be in your best interest but not in their best interest. So these guys are the figures of authority in that space. So these are good folks of mine. We wanted to get together and put a series together so that you guys can get the information, because unless you know folks that want to give you the good information, all you're getting is the information that the other folks want you to get. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that everybody that is in that space, or even the majority of people that are in that space, are out to get you. Like, then, there's good people in those businesses. That's not how it works. The industry itself is where the misnomers and stuff come from. So if you guys don't know Rob Martin, Rob, give him a quick rundown, man. Let him know a little bit about the Renegade.
Well, I've actually put this into my group also, so I want to give a shout out to Sales Team 6. I've been in sales for 29 years, tried a little bit of everything. Like the idea of what you could do in life insurance, but what I didn't like is when I got in there, I didn't like what I seen. All the things I seen in the homes I was in, the things that people, they didn't understand what they were paying for. And I hear everybody saying we're helping these people, but I get in their homes and I see this stuff. I'm like, how are you helping people? So when I started out, I started a plan of helping people save money on their bills. Went in and started teaching them how to understand what they had, and and now I'm teaching people to do it. And it blesses me.
Yeah, for sure. When the goal is to do the right thing, the right things come back, right? You get back what you put out. And what is it, real quick? You got something on the verge that's about to go down. Mark, you got something on the verge that's about to go down too. Give you guys a quick little couple seconds here. If you can read backwards, then you can understand what Rob has going on. But if you want to tell the folks, what you're bringing to the table, you're welcome to do that. You don't have to go into detail, man. You don't let the cat out of the bag too much.
Yeah, we got time for that. But anyway, we're doing the life insurance industry, and this app is going to change the way we do our job. Just like I try to find a way to do something different on every avenue as far as how we treat the client. We actually want to help the client, and also along the way, it helps the agents. What we've developed as an app is going to completely replace everything I hated about my job. And comedy is an exaggeration of reality. And I am like the comedy version of ADHD and the comedy version of some psychotic salesperson. So this app, I'm like in love with it, which means everybody else is really going to like it.
Absolutely. I'm excited about it. I'm not even in the insurance business anymore. If you guys are just joining us, we're introducing you guys to the Renegade Rob Martin and Martin Matthews on the Money Matthews. If you're in the insurance business, you need to be in that Sell Team 6. If you care at all about your money and you want to know anything about your money, you need to be following Martin Matthews and his wife, Chelsea Matthews, on the Money Matthews show in the morning and Matthews After Dark at night. While you're at it, share the stream, like the page, recommend, give us a review. We need to grow this thing out. We got some pretty plans going on here. So, Martin, what's up, dude? Give these folks the rundown, man. Let them know what's up.
What's going on, guys? So my name is Martin Matthews. I'm originally from West Africa. I moved to America because I come from a poor African country, and America is the richest country in the world. So I came here, and I realized that people really didn't know how money really works, and I couldn't really find people who would teach me that stuff. So eventually, I discovered a financial professional. He taught me the game of finances. So I started my early 20s as a business person in the financial world, learning the ropes. And you fast forward about 10 years later, I'm in my early 30s now. And basically, I've learned a lot about this industry. I'm somebody who holds multiple licenses to help people and talk about money and finances. But there's still a whole dark area. There's things that you're being told about the financial world that's not necessarily accurate. And I see people acting on misinformation all the time. So my wife and I really wanted to help people in the areas of personal financial development. So we started doing our show, and so that's what we do. We have a business that's in multiple states, and we have a financial agency that we've built over the past few years. So that's what we do, and we just like to have a great time doing it and sharing with people and have a lot of fun on our show. So we like to do that, and that's how we all connect here through social media.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your guys' energy. I love the show. I love what you guys do. We hit it off immediately, right?
Yeah,
as soon as we hooked up. And then we actually all got to meet in person a couple of weeks ago.
10X GrowthCon, baby. We had a great time
awesome.
out there.
Yeah, it was awesome. You guys got a book coming out too, right?
Yeah, so my wife and I, we're releasing a book in a couple of weeks called Let's Fight About Money, because that's the number one thing. When you ask people, what's the one thing people fight and argue about the most? They always say, oh, it's money. It's the number one cause of divorce, and in relationships, when you're married or in a relationship or want to be in a relationship, that's always an important issue. So people always ask us, how do you guys deal with your money? How do you guys handle that as a household? How come you don't fight about money? And it's because we learn how to fight the right way. So we move from fighting each other about money like most people do, and we fight for each other. We fight for our family. And so that's what the book's about. It's about couples and money and how to have the right mindset. Why do you fight about money? How do you have rules around it so that you're fighting for each other instead of against each other? So we go through that in the book, and we teach you how to build an unbreakable financial house. All of that's in our book. It's going to be released in a couple of weeks here. We're super excited about it, man.
That's awesome, dude. Hey, if you guys are just joining us, we got like 24 in here. If you haven't shared this thing out, I don't know what the hell your problem is. Mark or Rob, so
Yep.
when we started talking about doing this, man, I called you, I called Martin, I said, hey, what do you guys think about doing a little series and helping people out with information? What was it about that conversation that made you decide, like, okay, this is cool? Because I don't think you knew Martin, right? You weren't connected with Martin, so we were able to bring that connection together too. What was it about that? What are you looking to accomplish with this 4-part series that we're going to be doing every Friday for the next 4 Fridays?
It just make people aware. People need to be aware of more. It's kind of like when you told me about Martin. When me and you were talking one day, you started saying, man, you need to hook up with Martin. You started telling me what he did and stuff and how he was doing things for the financial world. The same thing I'm doing more on the life insurance side of things. And man, you guys, he sent me his number. I called him immediately. We had a long conversation that night. And then about a month later, you came with this idea shortly after that. I think you said your brain was in overdrive. You were in San Francisco or something that night. Your brain was in overdrive. And, the idea is this. Listen, I've been in sales for a long time. I got us some businesses because I didn't like telling people what I did. Not to offend anybody else doing it. It's just if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go at it as hard as I can to make as much money as I can. And some of the industries I was in, it's like you just couldn't find an angle to do it right to make that level of money, not to be completely ethical. And, listen, I mean, I'm just like everybody else. Like dark ability to help people. So when I started going into the homes, I started seeing some potential. I'm actually partially started off for myself in the beginning until I realized how much it helped them. But my wife and I got in this business. We didn't really have a mentor. The people we came in under were people that we're close to, but they're not people that could help. I mean, listen, I've been in sales for a long time. That's my thing. I'm not good at it a lot, but I can sell. But I knew I could save people money. I got in the house, saved them money on their bills. And once I'd done that, the results were just ridiculous. And if anybody watching this is in life insurance, my first 4.5 months, my wife and I were out working together. We brought up $180,000 in premium in our first 4.5 months, and we knew nothing about insurance. But what we did know about is how to get people to like us, and the way to get people to like you is to put money in their pocket, especially the ones making $1,000 a month. And you put 120 that back in their pocket every month by finding the things where people are taking advantage of them, and then you go into the insurance and you find another whole mess. I mean, I've got numerous clients that have passed away, family members have passed away. I've got a picture of a letter I give to the guys in my group. It's a letter from an insurance company where the family didn't get paid because mom laid in the hospital dying for the 3 months in a coma, and her policy lapsed because she didn't send in her quarterly payment. I use that as a way for the agent to make sure that we get a checking account information, because that shuts a lot of deals down for agents. Get in the house, I don't give my checking account information. Well, that shuts an agent down because he wasn't expecting that. They were loving him all up to that point. He just assumed. So what I do is in my presentation, I read them this letter and I said, isn't that crazy? So and I just been in, and I tell them how crazy it is to think that to mail a check in is safer than giving me the number now. But they're still just going to automatically draft the money out of your account. They're not going to mail it to the bank like they did in 1982. And it's a shame that I still remember when they did that. And that's how old I am. But when I seen the results I was getting from it, I wanted to start talking about it. The company I was working with, they didn't like me reinventing the proverbial wheel. I really don't care. I'm not much of a duck. I want to find a way to help the client. And in the meantime, I was really helping myself too. People want me to have their business. They want to do business with me once I do things like that to help them. So it helps everybody, the client, the agent, the people out in the grind every day. Those are the ones that need help in the industry, and that's what I'm trying to offer.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, we need folks like you to, like you said, I ain't good at a lot, but I'm good at sales, and I'm a good person, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to help the people, and I'm gonna try to help the people that are trying to help the people. So here's a way to be able to get that information out, because I might not be connected with a ton of different insurance people, or I don't know, but that information will be able to get out because everybody is a consumer. Because at the end of the day, insurance is something that everybody needs, whether you like it or not.
Yep.
So it's good to understand something about it.
Well, I've got in our group, I got a post in the group, the Cell Team 6 group. It's called the Seed Post. And people are starting, and listen, there's a ton of people let me know how much money they're saving these people now that don't even post in the group. But I mean, before the year's over, we're going to save tens of millions of dollars. We're going to save senior citizens, people on fixed income. By just eliminating things they're paying for, they don't have to. This stuff is fluff. These big corporations start cramming their bill, and as long as they pay it, they'll stick them with it. So to be able to be part of a movement like that is going to be awesome, because once we release this app, there's actually a money savings segment on it. And we're going to have a ticker at the top of the app constantly telling how much money is being saved all over the country by everybody. So when you save money and you submit it, boom, your tally goes right, yours goes right in there with the rest of them.
That's awesome.
To be able to do that is going to be part of something like that. It's exciting.
Yeah, dude, that's freaking awesome. Hey, if you guys haven't shared this out, share this thing out. If you haven't liked the page, do the damn thing. Hey, Andrew wants you to hit him in a DM. Rob, he says his parents are getting killed on their current premium. I don't. Maybe you can help him, maybe not. Maybe you can point him in the right direction. He's a good dude. Hit him up. So, Martin, same question for you, bro. Like, when I reached out to you, you do your own show like 30 minutes ago that you normally do, and I was caught up. I don't even know if you went on today or not, but you were willing to go on your own deal and then come over here and do this and commit to that for the next 4 weeks. Really 5, because it's this week and then 4 parts.
Yeah.
So says a lot about your character, says a lot about what you're trying to do. And so why is it with what I brought to your attention as far as the idea, why'd you want to get involved and do that? And what are you looking to accomplish with it?
Well, people need to know, man. Somebody said Martin Q, because it's Eddie Martin, Rob Martin, and Martin Matthews. The Martins all teaming up. No, it's people need to know. And the financial world, the insurance world is very complex to people, and they try to keep things convoluted and they try to confuse you. Look, 2 out of 3 people are financially illiterate. That means they can't answer basic financial questions as it relates to insurance, as it relates to saving money, as it relates to investment, as it relates to retirement. So how can people try to achieve something if they don't quite understand it? So what we're trying to do is share some light onto it so that people can become aware. The best consumer, the best client, the best customer is an informed and educated customer, because they make better decisions. They stick with the plan you lay out for them. They do make smart decisions with their money as opposed to poor decisions with their money. So the more we can share a message that's consistent, the better it is. More people become educated, more people need to know stuff. So look, any city you go in, the biggest building in that city is going to be the financial buildings. So how come the financial world's got all these big buildings, yet people still haven't learned how money works? Isn't that crazy? They're incentivized to not teach you how money works, just like the drug companies. How come people get sick all the time, and we got all these big drug companies, yet they haven't found a cure for all these things yet? Because they benefit from you being sick. So when you're financially sick, financial companies benefit because you don't know what you don't know. So that's why people, and you can't really learn this outside the industry. And Rob knows this. You can't be outside the financial industry and learn this stuff. You got to be inside the industry, and you got to know how the industry operates. And it takes guys like him and guys like me and you, because you've done some insurance stuff before. So it takes all of us coming together and shedding light on different things and saying, hey, look, this is what you need to know. This is what you need to be aware of. These are the things to look out for. And if you don't, see, the more financially educated people are, the smaller their buildings are. Means they make less money. But if you don't even know how to look at your returns or read your financial statement right, or understand, what kind of interest you're earning, how that all works, they benefit off of that. They charge you fees off of that. They make money off of that. And so the more empowered people are, then the more control, the more money you have, the more financial education you have. Actually, has been scientifically proven. The more financial education you have, the more money you have. So if you want more money, become financially educated. So that's how we take this message out, using social media to inform people on what's going on out there.
Yeah, for sure. So the core message of it really for both of you is education, right?
That's right.
People aren't trained. They're trained, but they're trained the wrong way, right?
Dude, the thing about it is sometimes even the people who work at financial companies don't know, because all they know is what they've been taught at that company. So in some ways, Rob had to leave his deal and start his own thing and start running things because they didn't want him to run things the way he wanted to do it. Why? Because it was against the culture over there. In my case, I started off as an entrepreneur. I started off independent in the financial world. What that did for me was, because I didn't have a boss, I didn't have to answer to anybody. What that did for me is it gave me a lot of flexibility. I'm somebody who has agreements, marketing agreements with over 300 different financial companies. So when I sit down with my clients, I'm not representing any one particular company. I represent my clients to the marketplace, and I try to find the best thing, the best strategy, the best option for what their goals are. So if you don't understand if somebody's acting in that capacity, you will not know. They will only represent one company to you, and they will only represent what they've been taught by that company. So people have to know, how to ascertain, how to determine, is this person acting in my best interest or not? See, Rob's going in there trying to save him some money and help him out. They know me from being independent that it doesn't matter which company we use. We can use many different companies to reach their goals and dreams. There's many different paths to do that. So you got to know that. And if you don't know that, you may end up going the wrong path and be stuck that way. So that's the whole information, the information education is what we're all about.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And if what you know isn't what you should know, then it's bad for everybody.
That's right.
So Rob, hey, how'd you end up getting that label, man?
Well, don't reinvent the proverbial wheel, right? Well, I mean, where I like to work at, I'm not ever going to say any names. Just listen, everybody, what works for people works for people, but I can make anything work. But at the end of the day, most importantly to me is I want to be able to find a way to do my job and because in my industry, anybody that's done life insurance, I'm going to tell you right now, they're by leads, and only 50% of the market is in the lead. These people got one person showing up after another. So my thing is this: I don't want to sound like the last 40 guys that knocked on their door, because these people are begging for somebody to talk to. They'll let you in and talk to you. They might even buy. But as soon as I show up, they're gonna buy off me too. So when I sell them, that's the end of the road, because I'm gonna come there and I'm gonna make a difference. I mean, I've met so many clients, nobody knew their name, right? The reason they didn't know their name was because they didn't do anything to be remembered by. They know my name. My clients know who I am. They know who Rob Martin is. They got my name all over the place, and I make sure they know who I am. I leave an impression that doesn't change it. Well, by doing that, I was considered reinventing the wheel. They told me, knock on the door and apologize. And I'm like, well, for starters, I paid $25 or $30 for a lead. I ain't apologizing for nothing. Number one. Number two, I paid $25 or $30 for a lead. I'm getting in that door. So, and when I get in the door, instead of like showing pictures of my family and telling them stories about pictures they got on the wall, and I care about 400 people a week, kids, which, I mean, it's not that I don't care about them, but you can't care about everybody's stuff and then sit and play that game. I go in, warm up for 5 minutes, look at their TV, say, is that cable? I give them a guess, hi. Everybody says yes. We go right into things. So they started calling me Renegade because I wouldn't follow the program. So I'm not trying to be cheesy. It's more to me like I mean, I got my license plate and everything, because that's how you want to look at it. I don't think they meant it like it's being spun now, but that wasn't the intention. But my goal is to change this industry, and people like the ones that don't like me for what I'm doing, they're not going to be around much longer. And I don't care what they think about me. I mean, those are the people I'm looking for. I'm looking for the people every day that are making those people rich. I'm looking for the people that 1 in 3 rule, because the 1 in 3 rule is, as long as we got 900 agents, as long as 1 in 3 are selling every day, we're making a crap load of money. But those 1 in 3, it means these guys are only selling every 2 days, and they can't survive like that. These weird deals they put them on. Eventually it catches up, and they're constantly rotating people out and crushing them in the industry. We're going to change that. We're going to find people that want to do it right. And if you don't do it right, and you don't want to help people save money and really help these people, guess what? Somebody, either me or somebody that's following me or somebody that's getting involved with this money saving thing is, and guess what? You're going to lose your customer. You'll never get them back. If you don't do it, somebody that is will, and it's going to change how we do it. You're going to be forced into it or forced out. And I don't really care. That's important to me. Let's make it right. Why not help people and get paid at the same time? We can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm you know me, we've met, we've had good conversation. It's only a win if everybody wins, right? And you guys are both in industries that really haven't changed.
Hell no, man.
Years. I mean, money is made in the disruption, right?
That's right.
And you guys are disrupting things, but you got to be, like I said, what you guys are both saying is it's information, it's training, it's having the right stuff in the hands. But you need the right people to deliver that stuff.
Insurance for
right people to deliver it. Dude, that's funny that's facing correctly, because I thought you were joking when you wrote that on the back, and you're like, oh, you like how I wrote all this backwards. You really did write it all backwards, man.
Well, because when I do, it's straight. They see it right because everything's backwards on there. I don't know. This is different, but that's cool.
Yeah, on the computer it faces correctly.
Thanks for sharing, guys.
Yeah, appreciate the shares. Get this stuff out there. We want to keep this thing at 30 tonight. We got about 8 minutes left.
I'm going to show you this real quick. This is something I made up. I've used some from companies that explain. I always explained it like this, but showing the diagram that we had confused them. So I basically made up a insurance for dummies, or insurance 101. And it's like see the cat run version of the 3 types of insurance. Now I know it doesn't cover every detail, but it gives these people the basics. And man, once I save them money, they go get them bills. I tell them this right here, and I'm like, which one of them you got? They like, hell, they run to go get it. We train them how to fetch. They go fetch the phone and TV bill and save them money. Well, they can't wait to go fetch that insurance bill or that insurance policy, because people don't know what they got. And I'm gonna tell you what, there's not a better feeling than getting on the phone with that insurance company and making them tell the truth. Because I trap them. You get them in that corner, they can't go. They're painted in the corner. They gotta tell the truth. These people like. I'm like, it's the same feeling you used to get when your kids was lying to you, wasn't it? They're like, I'm like, hold on to that feeling for a minute. And then they put the final nail in their coffin, and we hang up, and they ask me if I'll sell to them. So I mean, it's like, it works so good. You're actually helping people, and the people you're manipulating are the people that are taking advantage of them. I'm good at being manipulative. If it hadn't been for my wife, trust me, people tell me all the time that she saved me. I'm like, no, I don't think you realize she saved you from me, because I was extremely manipulative. All I'm doing is using that ability to hurt the people that hurt people. That's what it boils down to. I just found a different team to play for. And that was 20 years ago, so I haven't looked back.
Yeah, for sure. We got a guy in here. Is Martin Mayorga one of your guys?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. When I have people pitching in the comments there, you ain't gonna get away with it if you ain't on the team. So, but yeah. So, what types of things are you, Martin? What are you looking to cover next week? Like, where are we kicking this thing off at?
Well, the first thing I want to do is dispel some myths, because every day people come to me, and not a lot of my clients are super young, and because a lot of them are just getting started if you're young, but there's some common myths that you're told when you're young about how you should invest that I think is incorrect. And everything I do, I always tell people, look, don't believe anything I say, believe what you see, and then believe the math. Look, math will never lie. And so everything I do, now it's harder to try to do that on a show and everything, but I'll do some basics around it. look, check the math. Everything has to do with math and numbers. Numbers are easy to prove. People can say whatever they want. Numbers are easy to prove. So I always tell people, if that was the best way to invest, if that was the smart thing to do, how come everybody who followed that path, how come none of them are rich? And then they'll go like, well, okay, so that way clearly doesn't work. So you got to follow the path that's worked. So the first thing I would do is start by dispelling some of the myths. So I'll start by saying, this is wrong. This is not how you should do it. All the people who say this, they don't work, and blah, blah, blah. That's where I would start. And then probably the show after that, we'll start saying, okay, what do you do after you dispel the myth? After you're saying, hey, why this is incorrect? Why this is information that you're being told? I'll give you a quick example. Most people don't realize, here's one of the biggest lies you get told when it comes to your money and your retirement, things like that, is that when you send your money, like for example, if I add $100 or $1,000 to my bank account, the bank doesn't say, hey man, we give you a rate of return. The bank doesn't say that. The bank just says you added $1,000 to your account. You know what I mean? So, but for your retirement account, when you add money to your retirement account, the investment company sometimes pretends like they gave you that return. They include that in your return. So when you look at your statement, your returns actually look better than what they perform for you. So you get what I'm saying? That's one of the ways to trick you, is that the return you see, the return of 5%, the 8%, the 10%, that could be factored, that some of the money you added is making up part of that return. So you creating your own return. So you could have made no money. They could have helped you make no money, but they could show you, hey, you got a return. That would be stupid. Because if I got $100,000 in my bank account and I add $10,000 to it, I don't get, my bank doesn't say, hey man, we gave you a 10% return, because that's stupid. So the bank doesn't say that, but a financial company can technically say that. They can say, hey, your account increased by 10%. Well, no crap. I want to say no S word, but
no
yeah,
shit.
Of course it increased. I was like, yeah, no shit, dude. Of course it increased, because I put 10 grand in there. You didn't make me any money. But legally they can do that. So those are kinds of things that people don't know. And you know, most people never do the math. So they open their statement and the statement will say, oh, you did 10%. I go like, woohoo, I did 10%. Whoa, come on, dude. You put 10% in there from the year before, you never made any money. Those are the kinds of things that we want to teach you to look out for. Because if you don't know, you will always keep your money there, because you're like, dude, I made 10%. You made 10% because you added more money to it. It's not because they actually made you money. So yeah. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for people. Those are the kinds of things I would talk about, things like that. I like things that are tax-free and guaranteed. I would teach people why tax-free and guaranteed is superior to you taking risk, like the financial world encourages you to take risk. I'll teach you how that's not the way to go. How things that are tax-free and guaranteed, how to teach you that to put your money in things that you'll pay a lot of taxes on. Why? Because the government wants your tax money. So to encourage your job that you work at to sponsor retirement vehicles where you'll be taxed a lot later on. They don't tell you all about that when you're signing up for it though. So those are the kinds of things I would start by teaching the myths, and I can hit you with the real on how that all works.
Yeah, dude, I think that's a great place to start. Kick this thing off with next week on next Friday. Just boom, here's the myths. Here's the myths in your industry. Here's the myths in Rob's industry. Rob, did you have anything? I mean, I'm sure that's the angle, the direction that you were headed to kick this thing off was let's address the issue right up front. This is the shit you're being told. That's bull, and we're going to address that so that we can move forward. Before we can have a clean whiteboard, we need to erase all the crap off of it. So that ain't true. That ain't true. That ain't true. And then we can start adding. We need to clean the canvas. So was that kind of where you were at too for next Friday?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the kind of move that I like to do is this. I'm kind of guy like this. Look, if you got a buddy and his wife or girlfriend's cheating on him, you can't tell him his wife or girlfriend's cheating on him. She gonna sweet talk him and you're the bad guy now. But if you can trick her and tell it on herself, you're good. That's kind of my move, you know, because they always telling themselves. You just got to set them up. And listen, I like to make it their idea to do business with me instead of me trying to pressure somebody to buy something. I don't recruit either. I mean, I don't want to talk somebody to a dream. Either you want the dream or you don't. If you want the dream, then make the choice. but I'm not going to sell you on selling insurance. That's just the craziest thing in the world. Why you want to sell somebody on selling something? Look, if you want to sell, like anything else, if you want some people to follow you, then set the example and let people make their changes and choices based on what they see instead of what they hear you say, what they see you do. So.
Absolutely. Cool, guys. Well, I think this was a great jump start. Audience gets to know you guys a little bit. If you're just popping in here and you haven't shared, this is going to be huge, mega, tremendous content coming at you guys for the next 4 weeks. So share this out. Tell people to come to the page because this is just going to be the Friday night show for the next month. You got something to say?
One more thing. Hey, tomorrow night, on Sunday night, my Facebook Live for Cell Team 6 got messed up. If you guys want to join Cell Team 6, it's hashtag ST6 and then finally Spence/life. If you'll look that up under groups, you'll find the group, or punch in Cell Team 6, you'll find it. That's all over the place. If you want to go there Sunday night, I'm going to do my video I was supposed to do Thursday night, and it will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And what I've done is you can go to my website and www.renfex.com and request a presentation book. Anybody's dealing in insurance. And I got this stuff all printed off. I give away all this stuff for free. I don't ask you for money for it. We want to make each other better. I'm blessed for blessings, the way I kind of see it. As long as I can be part of a blessing, then I get blessed somewhere down the road. It always works out like it's supposed to. So you guys want to jump on Cell Team 6, you can hear me talk about how I set up the presentation, what goes with the process for these agents coming in, or if you're an agent in this, it's another way to maybe look at it or something new you can use. All stuff like this we give away for free. We don't ask you for anything for it. All we ask you to do is be a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. You got some of your Cell Team 6 guys that are in the feed right now. You guys drop the link in the comments there for that page so that people can go to it. Martin, where can people find you? What you got going on? Kind of give your outro.
So the main place to find us for all of our websites and links is martinandchelsea.com. So just Martin and Chelsea, CHELSEA. So you spell and A-N-D. So you go on there, all of our different websites. The website for our book, Let's Fight About Money, is on there. The website, even our kid teaches kids about money. He's got his own video links up there. My financial website where you can watch financial content and understand financial principles in a very short video segments. I have those on there. It's all on there. You can click. You can take a financial literacy quiz to see where you stand in terms of how financial literate are you. There's all kinds of little videos on there. It's very interactive. You can see my wealth management website. All of those things, you can get to it from martinandchelsea.com.
Sweet. You are on at the home of the hustle. Myself, Eddie Martin, Frank Selby Sold, and the Titan Jason Daniels will be coming at you guys Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. If you want your own show, let's talk. Let's see what we can figure out. We're gonna grow this thing and take this thing into a whole new direction. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Eddie Martin. I work for Lightspeed VT, most cutting-edge virtual training platform on the planet. If you want to teach somebody something, hit me up. Eddie.martin@lightspeedvt.com. Aside from that, we will catch you guys on Monday with Mr. Monday Night, the Titan. So I appreciate you guys being on here. I'm looking forward to this 4-part series because people are going to get so much out of it, dude. It's crazy.
That's right.
So, all right, guys, have a good night.
Appreciate it, Martin.